The mentor, the seasoned guide and source of wisdom for our main character in a story. Satoru Gojo, Master Roshi, Uncle Iroh, we all know these mentors are legendary. They bring that familiar comfort and spark to the story, helping our young heroes on their path to greatness. That is, until they die, right? All good mentor characters have to be killed in order for the main character to ascend to the next level in their journey and prove their worth, right? Well, not quite. When writing a mentor character, I'm particularly only concerned with two things. 1. Subverting expectations by giving my mentor character a design that doesn't fall into the bucket of old graying dude with a beard. And 2. Ensuring that they don't serve as just a plot device until the time comes for them to be written off in the main character's growth arc. You're going to see why these 2 points can help you write an amazing mentor character that makes even your audience feel like they're a wise relative. Let's do it. First, our mentor's design. I can rattle dozens of old graybeard wise types off the top of my head, and I'm sure you can too. They're a mainstay character design for the mentor trope, and for good reason. We tend to associate mentorship with age, which we usually tend to associate with wisdom. So it makes sense that characters that fall under the mentor trope would fit this general description. The only major problem with this is it's boring. It's expected, and quite frankly, old dudes with beards aren't the only ones carrying wisdom around. Well, at least not in my story. To create a good mentor character, I like to focus on subverting expectations on the design. What does mentorship look like, and who can be a mentor and what? I don't know about you, but babies and pets sure can teach you patience. Young people are imaginative and carefree, unbound by society's rules, and that's something older folks can learn from us youngins. The point is, defining what mentorship looks like in your story is the key to designing a mentor that subverts expectations. Maybe your mentor's wisdom comes from the fact that they're the only person in a particular town that knows how to use a certain magic. That doesn't have to depend on the character's age and can absolutely inform how you choose to go about the mentor's character design. Long story short, there are no restrictions with how your mentor should look. My character I'm speed drawing is named Ender. He plays the mentor to my cast of main characters, the Regulation. As you can see, he doesn't have gray hair, he doesn't have a beard, and he's definitely not old. In fact, he's got this wild scar on his face, which kinda implies that the guy has seen a lot of somethings in his day. With his design, I really internalized not wanting to make Ender look like a typical Gandalf, and you should too with your mentor characters. It'll help you create a mentor character who is memorable just from the design alone. But, of course, design alone does not a good character make. As mentioned earlier, my other concern with creating a mentor character is ensuring that they don't serve as just a plot device until the time comes for them to be written off in the main character's growth arc. We're about to go on a little literary journey called Risk. But first, if you're liking this video or you're liking my speed draw of my character Ender from Ye Olde Treehouse, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Okay, on to the literary aspects to creating a mentor. And let me start with this. They don't have to die. I repeat, they do not have to die. If you're not familiar with this trope, a common literary technique employed by writers who have mentor characters is to kill them off, sadly. Now, you might be asking, what purpose does it serve to create a character to just kill them off? And to that I say, tons of purpose. Killing a character that is meaningful to your protagonists is quite possibly the most intense emotional motivation you can give those characters, allowing them to do anything. Get revenge on the bad guy, level up to an extremely powerful degree, or even have significant changes in their own personality. So yeah, killing your darlings is a very effective narrative tool, and it's used so often in this trope. In fact, you could argue that that's the purpose of a mentor character, is to be fodder for the main character's motivations. But guys, you don't have to do it. You really don't, I promise you. A mentor's impact and role on the main protagonists does not suddenly diminish because they survived an incredibly difficult battle. They don't magically become less important to the story because they made it to the end of the story. In fact, in my view, it could even be more impactful for the mentor to make it to the end of the story because they serve as kind of a time capsule for the main protagonists. That is, they see the protagonist's full scale of growth, from weakling to exceptionally admirable hero. And you can use this fact to your advantage when writing mentor characters to remind the audience how your MC went from a zero to a hero. One way you can get this to work is by allowing your mentor to be very, and I do mean very, hands off throughout the story. They can chime in to offer the protagonist some insight and wisdom, but largely they may be in the back on vacation or something like that. You want the audience to feel the presence and the weight of this character despite how much screen time that they may or may not have. And I think this is a good way to prevent the feeling of needing to kill them off. I mean, if they don't show up all the time, you might not be so compelled to do so anyway. And there's one more thing that's pretty important when writing mentor characters, and that's really their outsized influence on the protagonists themselves. Let's talk about that before we wrap this video up. Mentor characters have one goal: to intensely influence our main characters. There can be varying degrees to this, like mundane stuff like how they dress or trinkets that they carry, or it could go all the way to epic things like combat styles and techniques. The mentor becomes the guiding force and can sometimes mold the protagonist into an image of themselves, like a mini-me, if you will. You've got to ensure that the mentor's morals and the protagonist's morals align pretty seamlessly. Their beliefs and values should be reasonably in sync, though it could be cool to throw a wrench into that and turn the mentor evil, but that's a story idea that you can steal or one for another video. Readers should be able to look at the dynamics between the mentor and the protagonist and basically say, yeah, I can see the similarities here. An example of the potential mentor-MC dynamic could be this. Maybe your mentor character is a master of like hand-to-hand combat. They have some kind of unique fighting style, and your protagonist obviously is going to start off as a clueless newbie. They're going to learn their ropes gradually from their mentor, and as their combat abilities grow, we can start to see the mirror between the techniques that are taught by the mentor. But we also have to remember it's not just about those physical aspects. The mentor's aspect can sometimes even seep into every facet of the protagonist's being, from their choices, their decisions, their worldview. They can all bear the fingerprints of the mentor. And when you nail that alignment between the mentor and protagonist, something really cool happens with this character dynamic. It creates emotional resonance. It's that moment of recognition where your reader can feel the mentor's presence through the protagonist's actions. It's a powerful bond that's going to draw an audience in and keep them really attached to the work that you have. So always with this trope, keep in mind the influence that your mentor will have on your protagonists, as it's basically, well, the point of a mentor, right? I'm Fifi Mangaka, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more literary chats and speed draws of my characters from Ye Olde Treehouse. I always have a lot of fun talking about the narrative stuff. There's a lot of art stuff with manga on YouTube, but not a lot of writing stuff. So I'm hoping I can fill the writing shoes for those of you out there that want just a little bit more of that side of creating a manga. And if you're interested in following my journey, you could also check out my Ko-fi. I have tons of pictures and in-development stuff for Ye Olde Treehouse. And until then, I'll catch you next time. Bye.